Straight all day.
You're now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day, to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. What is that, Dre? That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of wait for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called work on your game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic, we are in part 2 of 2, as promised, of how to invest in yourself and grow, how to do this strategically. I gave you the first 3 points in yesterday's masterclass. Today I'm going to give you the next 3 points and then 3 more in tomorrow's class. But before I get into that, let me remind you all that I have a daily motivation text message that I send out free of charge every morning to everyone who's in my text community. This message is guaranteed to keep you focused, sharp, and on point. So I already know you want it. Here's what you got to do. Text me at this number, 305-384-6894. Send a text to that number right now. And next time that I send that text message out, which will be tomorrow morning, you shall receive that message. I also want you to text me while you're listening to this episode or after you have digested it and tell me the best insight that you gleaned from today's class. So again, at that number, which is listed down below in the show notes, tell me the best insight you got from today's masterclass. Again, 305-384-6894. Secondly, Work on Your Game University is the best place, is the place, not the best place, but the place, period. So that by default makes it the best place for you to go and take the next step in the Work on Your Game journey that you're going on with me here. That is where you can get access to my coaching programs. That's where you get access to all of my courses like Bulletproof Mindset 2.0, 30 Days of Discipline, ASAP Confidence, Content Machine, Next Mission, Business Builder, Your Body, Your Health, and a bunch of other courses, the Selling Yourself. All of that is inside of workonyourgameuniversity.com. You get lifetime access to all that material. Just go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Now let's get into, without further ado, getting into starting at point number 4 here, since we did 1 through 3 yesterday, how to invest in yourself and grow. These 9 things that you can do. Number 4, do not neglect your health. When it comes to your personal growth and when it comes to investing in yourself, do not neglect health. This is why inside of Work on Your Game University, I have a course called Your Body, Your Health. That was a course that was recently added at the end of 2022. It is in there now, and the reason that I added that course is because I realized in the work that I do with I work with a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of professionals who are doing pretty well when it comes to the finances, when it comes to making money. They don't really, the main thing that they come to me for, there are some people who come to me, their main thing is, Dre, I want to learn how to make more money. I would say the majority of people I have conversations with, they are looking for ways to make more money and do more business. And everybody I talk to wants to make more money, but that's not everybody's main focus. That's not their main priority is, I need help making more money. They want to make more money, but that's not their main thing that they come to me for. Some people come to me because they just want to have better strategy and organization with what they're doing. All right, they got the money part. They're making more money. They're going to make more money. And yeah, I can help them with some things when it comes to making money, but their main thing might be, well, look, I just need to be more disciplined in these pieces over here. Or I just want to have better strategy for making money. I'm making my money, but I'm running myself ragged in the process of doing it. Or I'm making my money, but I'm sacrificing my health, or I'm sacrificing my family, or I'm sacrificing everything else in life just to get this dollar. I need to get some organization in my life while at the same time not losing the money that I'm making. Dre, can you help me with that? So some people come to me, they're looking for things other than just the money, even though not a single person I've ever worked with said, Dre, I'm good with making the exact same amount forever. Everybody wants to make more, but that's not everybody's main thing. So I'm bringing that all up to say this. There are many people who I've worked with who their main thing is, look, I need to get my health in order. Whether that means they have had some type of medical condition in the past that they don't want to flare up again. I've worked with people who had that. Whether there are people who they're making their money and they're doing great when it comes to finances compared to most people. A lot of people I work with are in the 90th and above percentile when it comes to income in the United States of America. You can Google that and find out what type of numbers that means. but in the process of them making that money, they aren't in the kind of shape that they want to be in. They don't work out as often as they do. Maybe they gained a little bit too much weight. Maybe their doctor has told them, the doctor's giving them a warning like, hey, I know you're doing what you got to do business-wise, but don't forget this part right here. So sometimes people just want that, and sometimes people just want it. Maybe it's just something that they always wanted to do. Like, I've always been good with the business side of things, Dre, but I've never really paid attention to the fitness side and the health side. And then I see what's happening with my parents. I see what's happening with my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, the people around me who are my age. I think I'm next. I better get my shit together. So they are looking for that. This is why in Work on Your Game University, we focus on mindset, strategies, systems, and execution. It's not just about the money. Yes, everybody wants to make money, but it's not just about the money. So this fourth point here, do not neglect your health. Many people focus on your head and your pockets, which is mindset and how do I make more money? Usually this is the main thing that people say. If you ask someone, what's the biggest thing you're working on right now? Most people's answer is going to be something around something mindset related, discipline, confidence, mental toughness, personal initiative, or something business related. Make more money, get more customers, sell more products, etc., etc. And when it comes to people's health, body, and nutrition, that's usually a distant second. Now, I've yet to meet a person who said it doesn't matter. I've never met anybody who said it doesn't matter, but very rarely do I have somebody who that's the first thing they bring up. Very rarely. Even though we all know it matters. And that's why I'm bringing it up here. The challenge with this is that if your health and body fail, I don't care how much money you're making, you got a problem. Because nothing you've done for your head or your pockets is going to bring back your body if that fails. See, the thing about your business, if your business fails, any of you owners out there, business owners, your business fails, you can start another business. You get fired from your job, you can get another job. If your body fails, you can't buy another one. It's over. So even if you survive to tell the story, if your body fails and you survive to talk about it, you won't be the same person anymore. And many of you, if you're over the age of, let's say over the age of 50, or even over the age of 40, some of you, you know some people who've had this situation where their body has failed them and they're still allowed to talk about it, but they ain't the same person. They can't do the same things that they did before. Can we all agree to this? And some of you under the age of 40 know some people who fit this description. Your body matters. As they say, health is wealth. It's a cliche, but this is a cliche that is based in truth. Because health is wealth. What does wealth mean? Let's remember what wealth is, folks. Wealth is what people want. That's the definition of wealth. When you have what people want, you have wealth. And let me ask a question, open question to the audience. Are there some people out there who want health, but they ain't got it? And can we agree that there are some people out there who want wealth, but they don't have it? I talked about this in episode 1502. Wealth does not buy health, so make sure you are taking care of your body. In episode 1477, I talked about how to create wealth. You can listen to any episode in the history of this show if you don't see it in the feed, because the feed only loads about the last 500 or so episodes. So if I mention an episode that's more than 500 episodes old, go back to workonyourgamepodcast.com. You can hear every episode in the history of the show. Again, that's at workonyourgamepodcast.com. And we are working on right now in the process, audio team is in the process of transferring all of the episodes onto one website. That's going to take a little bit of time, but they tell me it's going to take a time that I thought it would take longer, but they said it's going to take maybe a month or so for them to get all the episodes on it. By the time you hear this episode, maybe they're finished. We'll see. But we're in the process of moving all the episodes onto one website that'll get everything in one spot. So then I'll be able to give you all a website where you can actually go episode by episode. And there's still the workonyourgamepodcast.com will still exist at the same time. Anyway, that's just a sidebar. So anyway, the body matters. Okay. On top of the fact that some of the people who you do business with or you want to do business with, are they going to make judgments about you based on your physical appearance? You think this doesn't happen? Oh, it happens. Even though your physical appearance has nothing to do with what you are offering them business-wise. You might be selling them some type of mindset piece, or you may be selling some form of financial vehicles or financial products, or you might be selling food, or you could be selling cars, or you could be selling houses. People will look at you and size you up physically, just looking at you. You don't have to say anything. They'll just look at you and they will make a judgment about you based on how you appear, how you show up. And they might make a negative or positive judgment based on how you show up. And if you are not in good physical shape, and let's say they really value people being in good physical shape, they may think less of you just because of that, and it has nothing to do with the product or service that you're selling. Does this happen? Well, let me ask you a question. Have you ever made a judgment about a person based on something that had nothing to do with the business that they were doing? Of course you have. And you do it every day. You may have done it to somebody today. You will do it to somebody tomorrow, and someone else will do it to you. So these matter. The way that you show up matters, and it will affect your business. It is affecting your business right now, whether you know it or not. So that's why your health does matter. On top of the fact, most importantly, that if your health fails you, then it doesn't matter how good you are business-wise, because you can't do business if you're not in good health. So that's why you should not neglect your health. Take the Your Body, Your Health course inside of Work on Your Game University. It'll help you out. Point number 5. Today's topic, once again, we are on part 2 of 2. How to invest in yourself and invest in your growth. Number 5, join groups where you can advance. And when I say groups where you can advance, I mean this in a couple different ways. One, a group where there is a runway for you to get better and move up and make yourself a more valuable individual. Also a group where there is space that someone with your skill set and what you offer actually becomes more and more valuable. So basically, you don't want to go somewhere where you're bumping heads with a bunch of other people who are doing the same thing that you're doing. Any of you familiar with BNI? It's a networking organization. It's been around for a long time. It's all over America. And what this group is basically a place where people meet to connect. But the way BNI groups are set up, and that's B is in basketball, N is in Nebraska, I is in inside. And the way that BNI is set up is that each group, let's say there's a BNI in South Beach, Miami, there's a BNI in Seattle, or there's probably more than one in many towns across America, is that they only allow one person from each industry to be in there. So let's just say I joined a BNI group in Miami Beach, and I'm like the mindset / strategy guy at this particular BNI group. No other mindset / strategy guy can join that group, because then them and myself will be bumping heads because we're both competing for the same attention. And what we do there is we exchange leads. So let's say there's an insurance guy there, and then there's a real estate guy, and then there's a finance guy. And when I say guy, I'm just talking about human beings. So this might be male or female. So there's a finance guy, there's someone who sells cars, and there's someone else who does, I don't know, what's something else, they own funeral homes, or whatever it is. No one else who does the same thing can be in the same group. So that person, anyone who has any kind of insurance leads, they all go to the insurance guy in that group. Anyone has a real estate lead, there's one real estate person in that group. So you want to join a group that's kind of have the BNI mindset. You don't have to join a BNI group. Hey, you can if you want to. It's probably one in your town. But the BNI mindset is you want to go somewhere where you are the person for that particular thing, and you can shine and you can advance. There's some way that the more you're there and the more you offer, you actually become more and more valuable. And the more valuable you are, the more value you can get in return, theoretically speaking. So this is a strategy about simply going to places where you can be of value, where you can also add value to the group, and you also can ascend in that group. Meaning, again, you become more valuable the more that you're around. And this is not everywhere. So you have to be strategic about this. And if you're not sure exactly how to do that, then get some help. Talk to someone who knows how to do this. So go where, the saying is, you want to go where you are adored, not where you are ignored. Think about that. Where would you be adored and not ignored? The balance of this is finding a place that is challenging enough that it pushes you to go a little bit outside of your comfort zone, at least a little bit outside of your comfort zone, but not so far out of your reach that you can never get to your highest level. So you want to set it's kind of like setting a goal for yourself that's high enough that it stretches you and pushes you to try more, but not so high above where you are that you think it impossible and don't even try. So when you start a career at a company, for example, often, and notice a key word here, when you start a career at a company. So any of you who has a career right now, when you started at that company, at some point in your early stages, they probably showed you a roadmap of, okay, if you perform at this level and you do this, this, and this, you can move up to here and here and here, and you can make this much money and do this and this and this. When you start a career, they usually show you the roadmap to how you can advance and go further based on your performance. Now, when you started a job, they may not often tell you this. A job is temporary. A job is you just work there. You didn't really have to have any specialized knowledge, and there's not really a whole bunch of infrastructure there that is set up to keep you. If you leave, you leave. They'll replace you with somebody else the next week. A career, on the other hand, is something that both you and your employer are they're fixing to keep you around for a long time, because this is a place where you can see yourself growing and developing and building you can basically see you being here for the next 10, 20, 30 years, maybe even retiring at this place. That's the difference between a job and a career. At a career, they show you how you can move up and ascend. At a job, they may show you, but they don't. Whether you do or not doesn't matter, because again, you're fungible, you're replaceable. So when you start a career at a company, they'll show you this, how you can ascend and move up. And if you don't like the way it looks, you probably shouldn't work there. And if you do like the way it looks, then maybe that's the place for you. So a career always shows you this kind of path. As far as your investment in yourself and your personal growth, you should be looking for places where it's set up like a career. You can see how you can advance and move up, and how there is more value the further you go, the more you do, and the more value that you bring to the table. Point number 6. Today's topic again is part 2 of 2, how to invest in yourself and grow. Number 6, make a personal development plan. What a novel idea. Actually make a plan for your personal development. I mean, this is what we're talking about here. Everything I'm talking about in all these 9 points, this is a good starting point for your plan. So any of you who doesn't know how to make a plan, I'm giving it to you in these 3 episodes. Yesterday's, today's, and tomorrow's. I'm giving you a plan. All right, if you want it, you can start with this, edit the plan as you wish, but this is a bare bones skeleton structure to start making a plan for how you're going to develop yourself personally. So here's some questions you can ask yourself. How would you like to develop? In other words, in what ways would you like to grow and develop? Where do you need to get better? What are your areas of weakness? What are your strengths that you want to enhance? What are the weaknesses that you want to fix? What are the holes that you want to plug? What type of person do you want to be a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? What things do you want to do, and what would you like to achieve? What do you want to be on your resume 10 years from now in your career? Where do you want to be? What company do you want to be working for? What position would you like to occupy? If you have not taken the time to think about these things and ask yourself these questions consciously, then there's no way you can have a personal development plan. If you're listening to a show called Work on Your Game, this is personal development, what we're doing right now, by the way. So if any of you wasn't sure what it is, this is it. All right, the material that is pushing you and encouraging you to become a more valuable individual, that's personal development. If you have not taken time to think about these questions that I just threw out there, then you don't have a personal development plan. But you should not be consuming personal development without having a plan around what you're doing with it, because what you're doing otherwise, you're just doing kind of a la carte personal development. You're just kind of picking up things randomly as you go along. All right, that's not going to lead to long-term results. It doesn't lead to sustainable advancement. And I would assume, you're listening to a show called Work on Your Game, you want sustainable advancement, meaning you want to advance and you want to stay at that level, and then you want to advance again and stay here, then advance and stay here. You basically, every time you advance, you want that to become your new floor, metaphorically speaking. Everybody got what I mean when I say your new floor? Meaning you're not going to go any lower than this. Once the brain expands to a certain level, it cannot shrink back to where it was before. That's what you want to be doing. And the way that you do this and you make it solid is you make a plan and you follow the plan. Then I'm giving you the bare bones structure of a plan if you have never made one before in your life. So take your time to think about these. How do I want to develop as a person? Where do I want to go as a person? What type of person do I want to be? What kind of things do I want to achieve? I'm just throwing out some basic starter questions here for you. But if you're not doing this, then you're just going with the flow and kind of letting things happen as they happen. Now, if you happen to be listening to this show on a daily basis, that's a good thing. But at the same time, I want you to understand, don't just listen to this show and just say, all right, that was a great 20, 30-minute episode that Dre did. That was interesting. I got some good ideas from it. Because by next week, you're going to forget 99% of what I said in today's episode. That's why you should take notes on what I said, but not just take notes just to take notes. You're taking notes so that you can start making a plan for how am I going to use this stuff? How am I going to actually apply this stuff and it become part of who I am permanently as a person? And listening to something one time is not going to change you personally. It's not going to change you who you are as an individual. You have to do something with it, folks. Everybody got it? No highly successful person operates without a plan. At least not in the areas in which they are successful. Because you can be highly successful in one area, but kind of failing yourself in another area. In any area in which you are successful, you operate with plans. This is just a fact. So anyone here who makes a lot of money, whatever you consider to be a lot, is because you have a plan for making a lot of money. Any of you who's in good shape, there's a plan for being in good shape. Any of you has strong relationships, there's a plan for your relationships. Anything that you're good at, you are operating with some form of plan or strategy. You have predetermined how you're going to do things. You don't just show up and just figure it out. Nobody's that talented. At least, again, not over a long-term basis. Maybe in the short term, but in the long term, nobody's that good. If you want to grow, you had to be conscious and intentional about it, not random. Let's recap today's class. Again, part 2 of 2, how to invest in yourself and grow. Number 4, do not neglect your health. Remember that health is wealth. If your body fails, does not matter how successful you are in other areas, everything else will fall apart with it. Your health is the foundation upon which you build everything else. Number 5, join groups where you can advance, where your value becomes more and more the longer you are around, the more that you give, and also in a place where there's a runway for you to actually get better and become a more valuable individual, which is not everywhere. Again, think of a career versus a job. A career shows you a game plan and a way and a roadmap basically for how you can become more and more valuable over time as long as you hit certain standards and benchmarks. Whereas a job, they don't really always show you that because they don't care if you stay or go because they can easily replace you. You want a career, not a job when it comes to your growth. And number 6, make a personal development plan. How do you want to develop? What type of person you want to be? What do you want to do? What would you like to achieve? You got to take time to think about these things and make a plan for your personal development so that you know what you are doing. You're not just randomly doing stuff and hoping that it works out. Hope is not a strategy, ladies and gentlemen. All that said, tomorrow we're going to get into part 3 of this, but first, text me and tell me the best insight you got from today's class. My number is 305-384-6894. Secondly, go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Get into that Your Body, Your Health course, which is in there now. Also, my Bulletproof Mindset 2.0. I got another course called Next Mission. Another one called 30 Days Discipline, ASAP Confidence. More courses in there. Another one called Toughen Up. I got more courses in there than I can even name off the top of my head. But that's why we got so many in there, because it's giving you the university. Same way when you're in college, you get to look through the course options and you get to see which classes am I going to take next semester. That's the same thing you're going to do at Work on Your Game University. And I'm giving you real direct, real talk education here in this university, not any nonsense or classes that you have to take because it's required for you to get your degree and you don't know what you're ever going to do with that information in the real world. Here I'm giving you all real world stuff. So go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Also, you can see options for being coached by me, and also you will get, if you're a member of the university, my physical mailings, the Bulletproof Bulletin and the Black Book, which come out every single month straight to your physical doorstep. Work on your game. Dre all day.